President Obama has been more than willing to, in his words, use his pen and phone and go it alone when he cannot get Congress to do his bidding. But in doing so, he has pushed the legal limits of his executive power. Correspondent Kevin Corke has that part of the story from the White House tonight.
Status quo. That's how White House officials are describing the latest legal repudiation of one of the president's executive actions, this time on immigration.
The broken immigration system that we have in place right now is the closest thing we have to amnesty.
So frustrated by a lack of action by Congress, the White House set about crafting its own version of immigration reform, using an executive action. One it says would strengthen border security, streamline the legal immigration process, support earned citizenship through service, and crack down on employers who hire undocumented workers. And while the court's rejection of the president's policy will be appealed, it calls into question his use of executive action. Something candidate Obama said he would resist back when he was running for president in 2008.
We're not going to use signing statements as a way of doing an end run around Congress.
But critics say that's precisely what he's been trying to do.
It's a good day for legal immigration, bad day for illegal immigration, good day for the Constitution and rule of law, a bad day for the imperial presidency.
With 223 executive actions so far, the president has used fewer than both Presidents George W. Bush and Bill Clinton, but many more than President George H.W. Bush. But President Obama's have been comparatively far-reaching, with significant policy implications, all with more than a year left in office. And on a day when the administration acknowledged the president will in fact sign the National Defense Authorization Act, which prohibits the transfer of detainees from the prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, White House officials are poised to double down on the use of executive action, despite warnings from lawmakers.
I think your average American understands. Keep them at Guantanamo. It's a top-rate detention facility, and these are not average criminals. They are being held under the law of war.
What President Obama is doing is consistent with the long-established precedent that was carried out rather forcefully by both President Reagan and President George H.W. Bush.
Experts say the White House's strategy is risky, both legally and politically.
The president is in very, very, very thin ice for two reasons. One, he will be defying the Congress in two statutes that he will have signed into law, which is really unheard of. And two, where is he going to put these people?
Bret, 112 detainees remain at the prison at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, and many of them are deemed too dangerous for release, meaning they'd have to be transferred here to the mainland of the U.S. And barring a legal impediment, the White House, just as it did on the immigration debate, is poised to do it on loan once again. Bret.
Kevin, thank you.